You may be trapped without even realizing it. But don't worry, I'm here to help, to set you free. Welcome to my lecture on the mirror dimension. This lecture has 3 steps, beginning with the realization of where you really are, explaining how this place works, and developing the ability to finally break free. And in the end, I will additionally uncover a threat that could trap you again. So, there might actually be 4 steps. It doesn't matter because there's already so much confusion about the mirror dimension. And this is clearly Dr. Strange's fault. He and his teacher have not been very enlightening in this area. The mirror dimension is a trap for your subjectivity, and the only goal can be to break out of it.
We use the mirror dimension to train, surveil, or sometimes to contain threats. You don't want to be stuck in here without your sling ring.
Ha! This is dangerous misinformation. People are led to believe that they need something to break free. But no sling ring, no accessory, no fancy gadget will help. On the contrary, all you need is practice and, of course, the 3 steps I am about to present to you. They are the path to freedom. But I want to make clear that I never promised it would be easy or pleasant. The path to freedom may not be as awkward as waking up covered in slime with a tube down your throat, but it will still be uncomfortable. Because you have to realize the truth about the world and about yourself. You have to realize that
you've been living in a dream world.
This dream world contains fantasies not only about the world, but about yourself. So we have to start with the root of the problem, the reason you are stuck, which is your illusion of identity. In order to see what is really going on, there is a simple method to practice the first step. All you have to do is sit in silence and pay attention to the swirling intensities, the affects and emotions you are producing. I say simple, but don't be surprised if you jump up in pain and horror. As I said, this is an uncomfortable path to take, and it affects everyone differently. There are people falling into disorientation, struggling to breathe, or acting as if their skin was covered in a sticky discomfort. So, on second thought, maybe it is a little bit like leaving the Matrix. But again, it's easier because you don't need pills or robots to help you, you just need a commitment to practice. But be careful, because the swirling chaos beneath the surface can be devastating. So proceed slowly and carefully when connecting to the intensities. We don't need a psychotic breakdown of our constructed reality. Quite the opposite. While engaging with even a fraction of these chaotic intensities, explanations become crucial. A mind capable of explaining these experiences can sufficiently ground itself or protect itself from radical deterritorialization. Because the mind is having trouble letting go. I have seen this before, and I am sorry. Adequate mental stability and rationality are therefore essential to proceed. Explanations can facilitate this. So, let us explain the mirror dimension and how you are trapped. Your subjectivity was trapped a long time ago when you were a small child, somewhere between 6 and 18 months old. This is not a random time frame. It's a crucial stage in human development. It's when you first recognized yourself as an entity separate from the world, when you looked in the mirror and thought, that's me. But even then, you somehow already knew that the image you were identifying with was not the real you. It was a fantasy. And of course, it was not your fantasy. It was everyone else's. Your identity was constructed by other people and their expectations. And it still is. And you actively accept your roles and responsibilities, and in trying to live up to the reflection, to the expectation, your identity is formed. Your subjectivity takes on a socially acceptable form on the surface. This may seem like a choice, pure intensities versus identity, but as a child, it is inevitable for any social life to accept the symbolic order, to accept some form of identity. If you want to integrate into a society as a small child, you foster the illusion that you are somebody. You play the roles that are given to you. But, and this is important for the next step, you are no longer a child. Or at least, you don't have to be. You can develop the freedom to choose whether you wish to continue to be ensnared by your reflections, trapped in an identity constructed from the expectations placed upon you. So, can you see this for what it is? A challenge to go beyond habits and superficialities and face the complex nature of subjectivity? Yes? Then where to begin? How do you break out of the mirror dimension? To be honest, the third step is a bit difficult to describe, but there's a Zen koan about getting a goose out of a bottle. The technique is the same as breaking out of the mirror dimension. This isn't helpful? Oh, well, some people try to make you realize that there is no mirror.
There is no spoon?
Yes, mirror, spoon, or whatever. But actually, we do not need any references. I've already told you everything you need to know for the third step. If you've been paying attention, you've already grasped two crucial techniques from this lecture. The first is self-awareness. The second is the constant refinement of your understanding. If you practice this regularly in a supportive community with trusted teachers, you can make enormous progress in just a few years. These techniques can not only free you, but develop many other skills and unknown powers you can harness. However, with these tools comes not only great power, but also great responsibility. Don't make the same mistake as Dr. Strange by using your power to trap others in the mirror dimension. This happens most often to those who lose sight of the intended outcome. Instead of a freer being, you suddenly turn into a know-it-all, a philosopher, into a troll. This is the danger I was talking about earlier. Explanations can be great, but they can also construct another identity, another mirror dimension for your subjectivity. This not only traps you in never-ending debates, but also tempts you to impose your views and expectations on others. Therefore, focus on experiencing intensities and exercise caution when developing new explanations. If we can collectively embrace this balance, we'll pave the way for a world more in line with Deleuzian and Guattarian thought than we can currently imagine.